Good evening, everybody. System Chalk here with the 68th, I believe. Yes, 68th episode of House of Light, our first run through YouTube, playing as the archaeologist. So we've got our new event or incident, the Affair of the God in the Wood. So this one, I had one ending that I got on the Twitch stream, but I would definitely be interested in seeing some of the other ways this can go. Now, in addition to forgetting about the Nocturnal period books, I also forgot about the Baronial period books. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to shelve these in the librarian's quarters, just so I can remember. And I don't have like a heavy requirement for me to deal with these immediately, but I want to at least have the reminder that they're ready to that they're ready to go. Now I think I can just unpause here because we don't have anything else to do for the day. We'll just be picking up a few things. I didn't figure out too much in terms of where I'm going with the day. Like in terms of leveling up various skills and such, I'm actually not 100% sure where I want to go with all of this. How do I put it? Maybe it's better if I just show it in the Tree of Wisdoms when it's ready to go. Sacrosalis Invicti is in this weird spot where, like, I have a lot of memories for it, and so it kind of makes sense to put a little bit higher, but there's no major thing driving me to put it up higher either. Jug of pheasant. What I may wind up doing now that I think of it, actually, something especially tasty. Crack open the container, delight in your discovery. Ruby-wise ruin, I did not really think that would be something I'd get out of the container. Let's think about a memory to take overnight before I go too much further. I think I'll keep the confounding parable just because it's one that can't be replaced by the existing memories. Anyway, sorry, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I guess here's one way I'm thinking about this. So an Echo of Silence is probably 2, Damascene Traditions of the House of Leith could be 2, let's say it's 1. So let's say we get 3 lessons out of that. Now that would mean we can actually take Sacrolamea up to one of the highest levels that we have among the skills that I have. But it's Moth and Sky, and so both of these already have a fairly high degree. Like right now, Sacrolamea isn't getting me anything new, and so that's not necessarily a reason to ignore it. There might be something worthwhile that I get out of it, but the urgency behind leveling it up is not exactly there. And I think probably there's a similar argument that could be made for Ragged Crossroads. I think I don't know. I think there were a couple of ideas I had for it. And I guess it depends whether I commit it to the Illumination or Scolacosophy branch. But again, I don't have a hard driver in terms of where that winds up. Anyways, let's take a minute and think about the next steps. I think probably the obvious one to me would be we want to make some. I would want to finish off the various ingredients. Now the game chips, I believe that does require dripping, and we might actually be out of it. I remember in other playthroughs I had large amounts, but it seems like I'm coming up short actually. So maybe in this case we'll take care of the beef in advance. I'm trying to remember if I get dripping from the pheasant, but so I guess the question is, do I do the roast beef or the magnificent roast beef? Or or marinated roast beef. And I'm just going to take a quick second here. If I go under ingredients. Well, nuts. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. So they both have the edge, forge, and heart. Both have the scale. Okay, so I very clearly did not... Oh no, here we go. Okay, so same edge, same forge, same heart. No grail. Same scale. Everything else is empty. Okay. So what that says to me is I should get some kind of alcohol, even if I make one. And let's see. I mean, we've got a lot of dandelion wine, or we got the Eigengrau too, so maybe I'll just use that. Or a glass of the Roskragen whiskey. I guess the Eigengrau is a little bit easier for me to get back. But yeah, it seems a little wasteful at this point, but in this case, I'm making the marinated roast beef so that I can get the dripping, and then this just gives me something extra for the next round. In fact, so we'll marinate a joint of beef. This suggests to me that it would be a good idea to it'd be a good idea to get an order in. So we'll do maybe 2 pheasant, 2 beef. I can do that right now, in fact. Oh, wrong one. I've carried a memory like a flambeau safe through the mazes of night. This will complete once dawn has come. Okay, so this changes the equation a little bit. If there's something with a high level of sky or heart, now would be the time for me to go for it. Okay, so edge, forge, and knock. All right, so potential sky option here, potential sky option here. Okay. Potential sky option here. They're all 12, it looks like. So let's just take a minute to work out the numbers here. Excuse me. I had a couple entries for the assistants, but I'm going to leave that aside. Now, one of the other options I have would be to try and use this to read a book or some other thing. But right now, let's see whether or not I can take advantage of the storm for a room that I wouldn't otherwise be able to open. So Mr. Kill gives 1 sky to start off with. The storm gives us 4. The astrolabe gives us 1, so that's 5, 6. Faust gives us 1, so that takes us up to 7. So I think that would give us the that'll take care of the sort of renewables, I'll call them. Now, one useful question is, because Mr. Kill can use wood, it's always interesting to see whether or not there's any kind of wood that has sky. Unfortunately, I don't think there is. The closest thing would be the Mazarine Fife, and obviously that's not really wood anymore. That's a tool. Yeah, so that's not going to be something that we can apply to the the problem. Now, I believe if we make Blue Crown tea, which we may not have right now, I think that gives us another 2 sky to work with. I know there's also the Veiled Goddess Lapsang Suchong, however that's just 1 sky. But I believe if we make the Blue Crown tea, we can get a second. I'm actually a little surprised I don't have a... I'm a little surprised I haven't brewed one already. So let's work with the assumption here that I can get a second of this. So let's see, Blue Crown tea, so that's 9. And here's the real heartbreaker. So far we're doing well, but we've got Mr. Kill, we've got the Storm, we've got the Astrolabe, the Faust, Blue Crown tea, but the last thing that we can do is food, and unfortunately, we don't have any food with 3 sky. So I suppose the... Oh, hang on. That's ridiculous of me. I was just talking about this. I shouldn't be using the Astrolabe. I should be using the Mazarine Fife, and I feel like I've neglected this multiple times. So yeah, that changes quite a bit. In fact, I believe it is one of the reasons why I made the Fife. Okay. So 5 to 8 to 9. Blue Crown tea theoretically brings us up to 11. So in this case, now we just need 1 sky to seal the deal. Now, I mean, easier said than done. We should think about where we get the next sky from, because it's only food that we can go with. I may actually have to cook something for Mr. Kill at this point. But that's not necessarily a major hardship. Okay, so I'm going to just do a quick check here. Yeah, so Blue Crown tea and egg croquettes. The egg croquettes require crusty bread and an egg. So here's what I'm going to do. We obviously need the... we need to finish marinating the joint of beef first. Let me just double check the Blue Crown tea. I think I wrote that down. Okay, it is 2 winter, 2 sky. All right. So yes, we're gonna go for Mr. Kill here. Speak with Mr. Kill. Mr. Kill likes conversations about endings. His wife prefers to talk about beginnings. A shilling will buy his help for a day. Let's do it. While we're at it, I'm going to use the Tryst to make the last invitation ink. Brew an ink that will ward off worms, although only the least of their kind. I'm trying to decide. I think I will do 1 trip to Crowcross Sands. And I think we can also afford a walk on the moor. I can never remember which one's the rose. Right. I think what I'll also do here, because I've got so many pitchers of water, I'm going to restore an element of the soul using a... sorry, I'll restore an element of the soul using... using a glass of water. It's a bit of an unexpected start to the day, but... The Coffin Maker's Assistant, a tamer of trees, a worker of woods, a consigner of cadavers. He has also been known to try his hand very diffidently at poetry. So we'll talk with Mr. Kill. We'll talk with the Faust first. Together we'll be watchful. I think I'm gonna save this water for an Arab or a core, just so I can get some more cooking done. Okay, so I've got the beef and the pheasant taken care of. I should maybe just make sure I don't have anything else I want to bring in. So our options here: almonds, beef, plums, pheasant, cocoa, Armagnac. Yeah, I think we're ready to send that off. 48. So oop. Complete the order. Postmistress signs and seals the order, places it in the place that stamped orders are properly placed. Wait 3 days, she commands. So we'll be earning a bit of money back at the Sweet Bones, but obviously the day's priorities aren't just the day's priorities aren't just getting money. So one thing I should be doing early enough is I should be cataloging these books. So I'm going to use one of the baronial period books with the metal just because it seems to be immune to curses. This book was probably written around the time of Hush House's baronial period, roughly the 1500s to 1700s. If I examine it, I can learn more about what knowledge it might contain. So 3 almonds, fair enough. The butter might be nice to restock, but my assistant and I are vigilant. All right. So I'll use the Mazarine Fife just to avoid forgetting about it again. I can lend my assistant something to help, increasing their abilities. May want to get some more butter now that I think of it, but I'll keep focused on one thing for now. All right, an ingredient for a higher purpose. So, I'll probably, oh, we don't have space. You can do it. All right. As I used to say in my youth, the day is done and so am I, but I've earned my pay. I will get back to the beef in a minute. Let's bring the Arab back. A quick nap in a warm bed with something comforting to drink while the winds chase the clouds and the clouds chase the sun. And we are going to make the Blue Crown. Make Blue Crown tea, a hot drink with nectar, sky, and winter. So you can fit the honey there. Okay. Trying to decide the order in which I want to do this. At some point I would like to talk to the chickens and get a couple more eggs. Alright, dark and pungent. So we're going to put that with the collection here. I did find out that you can actually write more than one invitation. They're not unique. Oh, A True History of Valentine de Wolf, written in the third person by Valentine de Wolf. Rarely coherent, though it includes some useful footnotes on falconry and veterinary medicine. So how's our furs and feathers? Okay, that's actually a pretty high priority one for me to read. In fact, I'll go so far as to say we can afford to use the Faust and the Aronoscopy. Oh. Okay, well, we'll use the fife if I have to. Bells and braziers should do the trick, though. Alright, I can master this mystery, enough sky to match mystery sky. So, I may want to keep a health aside, but we should be able to level up furs and feathers without too much trouble. Now, there's an interesting question as to whether or not I want to risk the shaft for cataloging. I think I'm okay with that. So, catalog a nocturnal period book. This book was probably written around the time of Hush House's nocturnal period after the turn of the century. If I examine it, I can learn more about what knowledge it might contain. There's always the risk that it gets cursed, but the nocturnal ones are a little safer than the others. This tool has boosted their aspects appropriately. So we're still waiting on the T. Talk about the weather, more useful than one might expect, especially in Britain. Sorry, I don't think I worked out where the sky food's coming from. So we've got game pie, boiled egg, scrambled egg, ham and egg casserole, meringue. Oh, meringue, huh? Jugged pheasant, roast pheasant, cold pheasant with grape salad, blue crown tea, and egg croquettes. A boiled egg seems the least costly out of these. Delicious when cooked, alarming when dropped. Alright, unexpected finds in the folds of earth and sky. So the animal bones. I think we've actually filled up our... Well, maybe not. Pilchards are nice. I believe we can pickle those and be ready for Fraser Strathcoin. I'll confess I am not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to get the whole I'm really not sure if I'm going to be able to get the all of the meals done for today. Alright, the Lake Fusina recordings. This is a little inconvenient because it's an audio. Well, I guess we also have Tower Rises, so just put that over there. Not cursed, so that's nice. Should probably keep an eye on things like the Fire Circle Tantra. Leonine Tantra. Oh yeah, I think the Leonine Tantra is getting in shooting distance, and that's a rather big one. So yeah, actually, if I think about this here, so we've got the Edicts Martial, which is 4. I can make a Contradiction, which is 6. I could then add a Saw, which is 7, and then the Arab or the Metal would take me over to 8. And Edicts Martial is definitely one that I want to take all the way. So we really should be reading the Leonine Tantra. Probably too late to do that today, but that's definitely one I'm going to want to get done for the season. Opening the Sky, I mean, the Strings and Songs probably wouldn't hurt to level up. We only have that at level 1 right now. Purifications and Exaltations, I can't remember where that was. That is currently non-existent, so I should definitely be reading. This is actually well within our capabilities, so same story there. Fire Circuit Tantra. Do I really not have solutions and separations as well? Oh, we do have Purifications, Exaltation. Okay. I was drunk with power. I'm a little surprised about the solutions and separations, though. But there you have it. So what would the approach be for that? We've got 4 with... Okay, 4 and 6. Yeah, nope, that's well within our capabilities as well. So yeah, we definitely should be casting a wider net when it comes to the different skills. Anyways, let's plug ahead, assuming that we're doing the Salon tomorrow. It may be a little bit of a stretch at this point, but let's take advantage of the weather while it lasts. So why do I want to talk with Mr. Kill right now? Got the Storm, got the Fife, got the Fost. Blue Crown takes us up to 11 and we need to boil an egg. So we're just going to wait on him. 11 seconds. Actually, does boiled egg gives us 1 sky. Alright, a hot drink with nectar, sky, and winter. Okay, so next up we'll use the core. Boil an egg, a dish with heart, scale, sky, and winter. So I'm definitely going to need more elements of the soul if I'm going to make everything work out here. So I need some kind of a fish dish for Fraser, which is going to require a... that's going to require alcohol of some kind. Well, let's just go ahead with what I can. It's not so important that I get the Salon done first thing in the season, so I don't quite know what I thought I was going to do there. Might as well pour another one of these. Okay, so Mr. Kill. Nice drop. I can offer my assistants something to drink. This will increase their aspects. They'll also be glad of the refreshment. Okay. And the tea's poured out. So... I can at least prepare the pale marrow. The funny thing here is that I have a number of dishes that I can make that are constrained by the fact that I don't have elements of the soul to open sacks of vegetables with. But that's life. So I'll make the things that I can, and then I'll... Okay, I deserved a little quiet time. I do need to decide whether I think it's worth it to drink another glass of water. I think I'll say yes to that, because that will free up the... let's free up a... do the metal. So a quick nap in a warm bed with something comforting to drink while the winds chase the clouds and the clouds chase the sun. So because I have a surplus of elements of the soul, I think this will be the time that I get the potatoes. So identify as potatoes. These are potatoes. Spectacular. Down to the Grussians. This has boosted their aspects appropriately. So we don't have too much to do. I will talk with Mr. Kill just to see what he gives me, because we have about 30 seconds left on the timer for the food anyway. So if I think about this, I need the dripping for the game chips, I believe. So I should make the marinated beef first, then the game chips, and then I actually don't think I have time for any of the others. So yeah, I've got 2 elements of the soul that I can use, and then I either have to talk to the chickens, or I need to drop some more vegetables in preparation for the winter. I suppose the first question I'd have is, do I have any more sacks of vegetables lurking around? I don't really. So let's get another one of those. Although I think I may have just... I think I might have just eaten up one of the cooking verbs that I wanted, because I need to use my health with to level up furs and feathers. As I used to say in my youth, the day is done and so am I, but I've earned my pay, so we'll bring back... I'm just trying to think if there's any value to bringing back something that's not the shaft. I don't think so, so we'll do that again. Okay, there's the boiled egg. I'm going to use the core first. So roast marinated beef. Dead men don't tell no bloody tales. Well, who'd listen? Okay, so we'll talk with Mr. Kill. He's currently at 11. Adding the egg brings him up to 12. I can offer my assistants something to eat. This will increase their aspects. It's also just friendly. And so it would seem to me the last step that we have, so we're going to be spending the next little while getting the metal back. I think that might just be something that I'll use to catalog a book with. In 2 seconds, we're going to get the lesson. And then I think we may call it... I know I've sort of been ending the streams in the evenings for the playthrough, but obviously we got through quite a bit. It's just we're not quite ready to do this alone. A True History of Valentine de Wolf, written in the third person by Valentine de Wolf. Rarely coherent, though it includes some useful footnotes on falconry and on exotic veterinary medicine. Valentine is obsessed with the meaning of the de Wolf coat of arms. On a field or a chevron in arched gulls between 2 corby heads, a raised sable in chief and a wolf sajant sable in base. Long have the 2 birds pursued my blood, yet one is no crow, yet it is darker. Long has the wolf rolled itself in gold like a clovered cow, until its slobberings stain our thoughts. So that gets us a fear, which would also work with furs and feathers. So let's put that on the fear shelf before I go too much further. Okay, so we need to put the fears on a bigger... Let's trade the gossip and the fear. Okay. So with that, we will level up Furs and Feathers. There's really no excuse for anything to be at level 1, save for the fact, of course, that I don't have all of my skills yet, or I don't have the lessons for them yet. Okay. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it there. So we will use... I haven't decided yet which room I get Mr. Kill to open. Probably the Weird Curse Spire. The Screaming Summit's the sort of thing that I presumably could use Mr. Kill to open at another time, whereas these... The Moth would be the Barber, the Lantern would be Reverend Timothy. So they're not... they're not impossible, but I suspect probably the Sky is the most likely candidate for these. So yeah, I'm thinking probably the Weird Curse Spire. We'll see where we're at with the Screaming Summit once I have another of Solomon's preparations. And we'll start thinking about the Salon. Okay, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.